Hello and welcome to another episode of AMG's The Scoop Podcast with your host Serp. It is May 3rd, 2021. We're in week 13. I think we're just kind of barely into week 13. Not very many games played yet. So playoffs are right around the corner. So we're going to take a look at that, obviously, get everybody kind of up to speed on who's leading the pack in all of the divisions as far as and then as also the conferences as well, who we think is going to take the conference, eventually go into the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. And I think I have a pretty good line on that. We'll also go over any kind of injuries that are going to affect any of the, some larger injuries that may affect any of the playoff teams and maybe hinder them from making a deeper run than could be without that player. So I'll take a look at that. Some of the statistical leaders, of course, we'll go over who's excelling. Maybe kind of an early look at some of the MVPs or some of the leading in defense, offense, etc. And that'll probably wrap up the time for this one. New system here. So this is season 3, episode 2 only, just because I was out for about a week or so. I actually got a brand new cyber power PC here and everything's good with it so far. It was messing with me for a little bit though. So I had a kind of a week without a PC, which kind of, I don't recommend that. It blows. PC is life. So anyway, let's go down into the playoff picture. I just kind of want to start with that, and then we'll go over the actual team's records. But just for right now, I kind of like the way that the playoff picture shows up on here. Now you're gonna get some of it cut out on the bottom there because of my lovely self in the way, but I'm gonna read them off to you anyway. So I mean, as far as seeding goes. The Jaguars, they've got the first round bye for the AFC. And then the NFC, the Panthers, of course, have it for the NFC. So we got the Panthers and the Jaguars are in it. And then we've got the second seed in the AFC will go the Jets, then the Ravens, then the Chiefs. Then it looks like it would go Patriots, Broncos, and Titans. And I think some of those may change, to tell you the truth. I mean, we're still a little bit early in the season at week 13 to determine who's for sure going to get the wild cards, just because I think there's a lot of teams that are kind of vying for those positions in both the AFC and NFC. And then in the NFC, we've got the Rams, of course, the Packers. All right, I said that last year. I said that it's their time. The Giants, and then the Falcons, the Lions, and the Washington football team. And the Washington football team is really teetering on the edge there. I think they're at about 6 wins, maybe. I think 6-5 or something like that. They're not in there by much. So I'm going to head back over to daddyleagues.com/AMG if you want to follow along. So going back over the playoff position. So we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars 10-1. I didn't even realize that. So it's been a little while since I was kind of paying attention. So I'm kind of happy to be back in here because it refreshes my the stats floating around in my head. So yeah, 10-1 along with the Jets at 10-1. Okay. Baltimore Ravens 8-3. Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs, Patriots, Broncos, Titans. The Broncos, Titans, and Patriots are all at 7-4, and you've got the Bengals, the Chargers, kind of just right around there. So that's any of those 5 teams there. You definitely, I would see in the playoffs. Falcons, Lions, and the Washington football team at 6-5. That's gotta change. I don't think that holds strong. Unless they keep winning, because the Bears, the Seahawks, I mean, there's a slew of other teams that still have a chance to take that spot. I think the Lions might have this one locked down, and the Falcons. I think the 7th spot on the NFC, and one of these spots, and either the 5th, 6th, or 7th, because they're tied, all have a chance of being overtaken. So there could see some flips here going for the wild card. So. As far as divisional runs, let's look at the AFC East. The Jets got that. No question about that. Okay. Chiefs and Broncos battling it out. The Chargers, I mean, it seems like they're up there, but I don't think that they're in the same boat as the Chiefs and the Broncos. I think one of them take it. I'd like to see the Chiefs, but I really think the Broncos are going to take that one out. And actually, to tell you the truth, since we're not going to be going over a trade, we don't really have too much time for trade talk. So let's just look in depth a little bit at maybe some of the teams and who they've got to play. Just take a little bit of time going here and get some info that might be relevant. So let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs, because they're the ones that I would say would be the maybe in that group. Even though they're on top, I'm saying the Kansas City Chiefs are a maybe because of the Broncos. So let's take a look at the Kansas City Chiefs schedule remaining, because that's what's going to tell me whether that's going to happen or not. Okay, there we go. So the Kansas City Chiefs, what do they have left? They've got the Jaguars, that's an L. The Texans, that's a dub. Cardinals, well, I don't know, man. I guess we'll say a dub, but I don't really want to. You know what I mean? I don't know. I will call it a WL, like a LW or a wool or something like that. Broncos, I think that's an L, and Raiders, that's a new ownership in that franchise. So I don't know about that one, but I'm gonna say they've got 1, 2, 3 W's. All right, they got 3 W's coming, which would take them to 11. They'd be 11 and 5. Right, so they'd be 11 and 5. What do the Broncos got going on here? Let's just check out what the Broncos got. Charge, that's a dub. All right, yeah, the Broncos got this. They're going to end up at about 12 or 13. Well, 12 and 4. I think they win out and end up taking a division at 12 and 4. The Chiefs do have they will get in on the wild card, and they're going to push one of these out. Well, no, it'll switch. Broncos and Chiefs will switch. So they're both in, just in a different aspect. Yeah. So that's the AFC East and West so far. The North, I think the Ravens got that. Well, since we're in here, let's take a look at the Bengals. Let's see if they're going to end up with the wild card or if they're going to get pushed out. Jets lost, Saints win, Browns win, Panthers lost, Bucks lost. So we're going to say they've got 1, 2 wins coming. That's going to put them, just for reference, that would put them at around 9. The Ravens, so the Ravens are going to take the division. I think the Bengals get in with 9 wins. Let's see we have the Jaguars in for sure. Let's check out the Titans. That would be the only one else that would mess that up. Who the Titans got left? Titans got football team. That's a W, L, L, W, W. Yeah, man. I think the Titans could be in there. Oof. They're not gonna take over the Jaguars, but they I think they get in there too. So yeah, no, that's gonna be. I think the Patriots end up getting kicked out. I think the Patriots get kicked out. I think it's Broncos take the division, Chiefs, Titans, and Bengals take the wild cards. I'm just saying. I don't want no DMs from the New England Patriots organization, or maybe I do. Maybe that's why I did it. Okay, so NFC East. What a gaggle over there. So football team, the Giants, Cowboys and Eagles are out. Let's go look at the football team and the Giants. I mean, so the Giants, they have, this must not be updated, 6-6, 6-5. They're 1 game back. They've got them listed as the division winner. Let's go look at what the Giants got left. So it's got NFC, well, let's flip back really quick just to let you see what I'm talking about. So they have the Panthers, Rams, Packers, Giants, Falcons, Lions football team with the Bears and the Seahawks kind of sitting around. They've got the football team on top here, but they got the Giants taking the division, even though their football team's a game back. I guess that's the way they work it. That's fine. So in any event, really quick before I switch back over, so I mean you've got to reference what I'm talking about. I mean the football team 6-5, the Giants 6-6, Rams 10-2. That's not even a question about that division winner. Packers and the Lions, okay, and then the Panthers and the Falcons, and the rest are all pretty. There's nothing really to write home about, so we don't really care about them. So now switching back, let's go look at what they've got left. Oh, I keep doing that. So again, I'm just gonna. Okay, so we've got in the NFC East, we've got the football team and the Giants, both with 6 wins, right? So let's look at the Giants. What do they got left? All right, loss, win, win. So they're gonna win 3. They're gonna end up 9-6. Absolutely, they're gonna end up 9-6. Football team is gonna end up. Let's see. Loss. Win. Yeah, they're only gonna. Okay, so the Giants are gonna be vying, the Giants are gonna take the division, all right, for the 3rd straight season. Football team will be hoping to get into a playoff spot with 9-5, which I think they end up doing that. Nobody else is. I mean, if they don't lose anymore, if they end up 9-5, they're in. I mean, the Bears got 6 losses, the Seahawks got 6 losses, the Vikings got 7. Everybody's got 6. Yeah. So the football team is in if they get 9. The Falcons are in and the Lions are in. So there's really no question about these. So there's really no looking about the games. I mean, it is what it says on here, you know, as far as playoff appearances. Like, it's going to be Panthers, it's going to be Rams. I think the Packers end up taking it. Lions are going to be in with a wild card. If not, it'll be vice versa, but they're both in. Giants are in. Falcons are in. The only one that may not be in is the football team if they lose one. If they lose one, they open it to anybody. I mean, the Seahawks, if they lose 2, I mean, that's pretty much anybody in the NFC could get in there except for the Saints. So, you know. But I mean, I think that's the playoff picture there. And then, you know, who ends up winning? Well, let me switch back over to the big screen here. We can kind of take a look at that. Do that again. So who ends up winning? Well, the Jets are going to face the Jets will end up facing the Jags. And then the Ravens and the Chiefs. Maybe. No. Well, that's going to switch around a little bit. So that might be Ravens and Broncos. 1 or 2. In any event, it's going to be Jets. Jets and Ravens. No. God, the Jaguars, though, you know? I mean, I don't think the Jaguars can beat the Jets. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Jets take out the Jaguars. It ends up being Jets and Ravens in the AFC Championship, with the Jets moving on to the Super Bowl. The Panthers beat out the Rams. Packers get beat in the 2nd round, probably by the Lions or the Falcons. I'd say Panthers and Falcons in the NFC ship. Panthers. So it's going to be Panthers and Jets. With the Panthers winning the Super Bowl. All right. Panthers and Jets. Panthers win the Super Bowl. Now, I mean, another little spot here. I mean, we're only at about 15 minutes, so let's go back now. And I want to look at some injuries to see if any of them are going to change my mind. Not free agents, although that's kind of a good time. Injuries. Let's just go through teams that are relevant. Bears, no. Bengals. 28-year-old DJ Reader. I don't think that stinks. I mean, he's a decent player, but I don't think he's that big of an impact player on defense. I mean, what has he got? I mean, he's probably a decent run stopper. I mean, yeah, he's 88. I mean, he's got some good speed and agility on him too. Well, not really. I mean, he's definitely can slow down the run, you know, at times. I don't think that plays a part in anything. Browns really aren't in it. Buccaneers, last year's Super Bowl winner, not doing well this year. Cardinals, Chargers aren't really in it. They're possibly. I mean, if they make a run and they win out, and you know some other teams lose. I mean, is Nwosu being out? Does that hurt? No, they've got only 1 week left anyway. I think he comes back this week. So nothing there. Really not very many injuries to speak of this year. That's a big one. Okay. That's a big one. If they can pick up the win, I want to look at the let's go back to the Packers really quick, because I got them winning the division and making it to the second round of the playoffs. Let me look at their schedule really fast, because I want to see, with Tatum being out, and I apologize for just those that are listening. I turned this in. It went from more of a audio only podcast to a visual aspect that I'm kind of used to having. So a lot of times I reference things that you may not know what I'm talking about unless you are watching. So got to get the video. I'm just used to it at this point. So anyway, team schedule: Packers, Element OP. What do they got left? Lions, without Tatum. Patriots is a dub. They play Lions twice. Buccaneers, they can probably win. Dolphins, they're going to win. So they got 1, 2. Oh, man. So they haven't even played the Lions yet. Well, it's going to be some interesting games this week and 15. I mean, they've got to take one of those games for sure. So if they lose the first meeting between the Lions, I mean, you're already going to know. They're going to have a wild card, but they're not going to take the division unless I think they've got to almost sweep the Lions. Who do the Lions got left? Well, obviously the Packers twice, but Vikings a dub, Bears dub, Niners dub. So they've got, I think the Lions end up, I have to change it. The Lions are going to take the division. I don't know, I got to be honest. I got to come from the heart. The Lions always in the last half of the season kind of pull out some craziness, especially if the playoffs are on the line, and they're missing Tatum. I mean, that's a huge weapon. Let's go look at Tatum's stats. I mean, what did he actually do for the team, and what do they have left? I know they have a good squad of receivers. They don't have just Tatum. I know they have other people. But let's look at the Packers. What are they losing here? They are losing. Well, I mean, they still got Marquise Brown. They got, Scandling. I mean, yeah. They might be all right, but it's just that lack of that one. It makes it so easy to cover. I mean, you can cover 2 guys far easier than you can cover 3, obviously. So, I mean, you lose a big threat there that you don't have to worry about now, so you can just focus in on the money makers. And Scandling really isn't even up there anymore, so it's just double team Brown and it's a wrap. So I think because of that, I think if they had Tatum in there, I think the Lions have a run for their money and probably would lose one of those games, pretty probably. But now I don't think so. I think the Lions take the division, the Packers come in on a wild card, and they don't get a deep run. Although Tatum does come back in 2. Let's see, 1, 2. That's 1 game gone for the Lions. I don't know. I'm torn. I think that they lose the game against the Lions without Tatum. When Tatum comes back, they win the second one. But I still think the Lions take the division because of their schedule is just butter on the way out. Whereas I think the Packers is a little bit tougher schedule on the way out. So Lions take that division anyway. Let's go back here. So that's it for the playoffs. I mean, as far as some of the leading players, I mean, Justin Herbert passing. Actually, let me get you on the same page as me here. So we've got Justin Herbert. Wow, 4,100 yards, 36 touchdowns. I would imagine there's going to be a lot of interceptions in that. Let's see here, 2022. 19. I mean, that's still a little bit more than you'd like to see, but 36 and 19, okay. I mean, that's nice. TJ Wilcox has been having a crazy good year. 39, 75, 44. Tyree Jackson, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones. Rushing, we got Nick Chubb, 1,300 yards. This guy's, I think his broken tackles are a record. It's stupid. I don't think it shows it on here. I mean, doesn't show it all the way, but I mean, if you can look at the games here, 6, 1, 11, 9, like, what the heck? I mean, this guy is insane. Leonard Fournette been doing really well. Joe Mixon, Derrick Henry, Ezekiel Elliott, Calvin Ridley, Odell Beckham Jr., Chris Godwin, KJ Hamler, Henry Ruggs, all offensive standouts. Defensive, Shaquille Griffin, Roquan Smith, Rashawn Evans, Mackenzie Alexander, Jerome Baker, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Eric Milstead, Calevon Chason, James Burke. The updated or upgraded or super high resolution on my screen, you'd think it would be super nice, but it actually makes everything so much smaller. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. Justin Simmons, Juan Thornhill, Javelin Guidry, James Bradbury, Trey Waynes. So some of the familiar names. It's a little bit shorter of a podcast. We are, 20 some minutes or so, but I mean, that brings us up to speed on everything. It lets us know where the playoffs are. Lets us know who can kind of make a difference still for their team and who is just, it's a little too late in the season to make a comeback now. And you just kind of start thinking of the off season and the rest of the season there. So we're definitely going to have one more. We're back. The podcast is back. Computer, everything's looking great. They got a banging system now. Shouldn't have to worry about anything. I don't know if you could tell the camera is actually updated. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because my internet probably isn't the best. So with the upgraded resolution on the camera and the lack of the internet, it might actually make for a blurrier picture. I'm not sure, but this is kind of testing, so I'm just kind of still monkeying with some settings on the new stuff here, but I think we're okay. So that's been Season 3, Episode 2 of AMG, the Scoop Podcast with your host, Serp. We'll talk at you next time.